Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi and today in this video I'm going to be talking about the month of June and all the important transits in the month of June, and I'm also going to be discussing this with respect to all the signs, all the 12 signs, so you can see this as a monthly horoscope for yourself. But please remember, this is a very general analysis because we all have our own individual birth charts, we all have our individual dashas. So this is a very generalized monthly transit analysis that I'm going to be sharing here with you. So you watch this video both from your moon sign and your ascendant, because in Vedic astrology these are the two crucial points from which we check our charts, both from the ascendant as well as the moon. So to start off with, let me first tell you how the planets are posited this month. Mars will be in Cancer for most of this month in its sign of debilitation. Mercury will be in Taurus and Venus will be in Gemini for most of this month. And Mercury is going to be retrograde till about the 22nd, and prior to that it will be retrograde as well as combust. So Mercury will be in Taurus, Sun will be in Taurus, and Mercury is going to be combust and retrograde. Venus and Mercury are in an exchange yoga, which is great. Mercury will also be moving towards Rahu. Mercury is going to be conjunct Rahu. On the 10th we are having a solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus at about 25 degrees of Taurus, and I'm going to be doing a separate video for the solar eclipse on the 10th of June. That is, we are going to have this eclipse. And on the 21st, Jupiter is also going to be retrograde. So Saturn is going to be retrograde now in a couple of days, and Jupiter will be retrograde from the 21st of June. So we're going to have both these major planets then in the retrograde motion. So you may by the end of June start feeling that things have slowed down a little bit. So to know more about Saturn retrograde and Jupiter retrograde, you should be watching those other two videos. I've already made a video on Saturn retrograde. I'm going to give the link in the description below, and at the end of this video, Jupiter retrograde video will be coming out soon for all of you guys. So in this video we are talking about the general month of June, about all the planets, their positions, and how generally this can impact all the signs. First of all, Sun will be entering the sign of Gemini. Currently Sun is in Taurus. Sun in Taurus is a very dependable kind of an energy. It's a time where we are focusing on creating security for ourselves, but then Sun enters Gemini. Our interests and our focus will shift a little bit towards gaining knowledge, communicating, interacting, maybe short distance travel, maybe all this being cooped up at home, too much of that stable energy that we feel in Taurus, which we are probably comfortable in for now. We may want to get out of that and travel a little bit, roam around a little bit, interact a little bit, be more curious, learn more, try more, initiate more, take more initiatives. But this may also end up in some kind of an impact where our energies would just be scattered away. So depending how you utilize this energy, you can utilize this time for learning new things, gaining new knowledge, getting new experiences. Of course, being very safe, please be safe, but you can utilize this energy of Sun in Gemini, getting new experiences, learning something new, interacting with people, communicating with others, or you can just scatter it away and try a lot of new things, a lot of different things, and at the end of the day you may feel it all has been a waste. So that is what Sun is like in Gemini. And but this exchange of Venus and Mercury is really great. It strengthens both the signs of Taurus and Gemini. Mercury is going to be combust, retrograde. So I will not suggest that this month you try anything new. I will not suggest that in the month of June, especially till the 21st, 22nd, do not try anything new. Do not initiate any new action. It's a great time to reflect on your past decisions, past actions, analyzing past projects, and reflecting on things that you feel are not working out for you, or things you think should give you better result. Finding the reasons as to why this is happening. What can I do to improve this certain project of mine or this certain relationship of mine? Because retrograde planets, especially retrograde Mercury, has that kind of an energy. It's good to reflect. It's good to look back. It's good to go over your plans. But it's not great to move forward. So that is a piece of advice that I'd like to give here, since Mercury is going to be retrograde and combust. Moving towards Rahu, you may have a lot of ideas. You may be thinking out of the box. You may be thinking of expanding your knowledge, expanding your business, expanding somehow. This could be related to sales and marketing. This could be any kind of trading. This could be some form of communication using the web. So it's a great time to reflect, to plan, analyze, reconsider. And since it's conjunct Rahu, you probably will come out with very unusual ideas, with very unique kind of planning, because Rahu signifies ideas and lots of unusual kind of ideas, breaking boundaries, breaking barriers, extending somehow, expanding somehow. So that can all happen with regard to this Mercury. But moving forward with your new plans, moving forward with your ideas is something that I will not suggest, at least for the first 20-23 days. But yes, the signs of Taurus and Gemini are looking good because of this exchange. If you have a dasha of Mercury or Venus, you will definitely get good results if they are well posited in the chart. Especially Venus is doing very well in Gemini. Mercury, since it's going to be retrograde and combust and moving towards Rahu, more caution is required if you have a Mercury dasha. Sun is also going to be here conjunct Rahu. So related to Taurus, here there could be a lot of, wherever the sign of Taurus falls, there could be a lot of ideas you have, because Sun signifies light, Sun signifies your vision. So here Rahu is eclipsing the Sun. So you may have a lot of illusions in your mind regarding the sign of Taurus. So I'll talk more about this when I'm talking about the eclipse. And then we have Mars, of course. Mars is entering into the sign of its debilitation. So here Mars signifies our energy, and when Mars is in debility, it just shows that we will be more passive, we will be more hesitant, we will not be very, very organized in the way we utilize our energy. We will want to put our energy to things that are close to our heart. So projects that you really enjoy doing, or hobbies, because the sign of Cancer is naturally what you like doing. It's the 4th house. So those things are where we would like to put in our energies, and yet it does show irritability, impatience, recklessness, anger issues, emotional ups and downs, and a lack of organization of energy. So these are some of the things we need to keep in mind regarding where we are putting our energy and how we are utilizing it. So you may be more passive in your approach, but very irritable at the same time. And if the project is close to your heart, then you will enjoy doing it, but you will be moody, and your work will depend on your mood to a large extent. Sometimes when you're not in the mood, then we don't want to put in any effort. So that kind of a thing. So unless you're in a good mood, it will be difficult for you to focus in whatever you're doing. So Mars in Cancer tends to make us a little moody and irritable, and it's like an emotional roller coaster. So this is Cancer is a watery sign, Mars is a fiery planet, so this gives a very steamy combination here. So mood variations and hastiness, sometimes being very hasty, and sometimes just being very passive and losing your confidence, and lack of organization is the kind of an energy that can be seen here. Jupiter is right now in Aquarius, and in a few days it's going to be in retrograde motion. I'm going to be discussing more about that in another video. I've already talked about Saturn in my other video. You can watch that video. Aries, you have in the second house, Sun is transiting, Rahu is transiting, then Sun enters the third house of the sign of Gemini. Mercury will be transiting back to the second house. So the second house is very strongly activated. So finances can be on your mind big time this month. Finances, family, your resources, your movable assets, maybe your bank balance, those could be on your mind. And you may be interested also in learning more, taking some kind of knowledge, communicating, interacting with more people this month. This could be related to your finances. This could be related to new ways of making money because of this exchange of the second and third house. But like I said, Mercury is retrograde, so for the first 23 days, I personally would not suggest you to initiate anything, but it's a great time to go back, reflect on your financial situation, and if you've been brushing things under the carpet, it's time to look at what's happening in that area of your life and reassess that area of your life. Also, Ascendant Lord is debilitated in the fourth house. This is a very disturbing energy to have, Mars in the fourth house in Cancer. Very, very important for you not to be sitting at home idle, not doing anything. So since we're all of us contained at home, it's important that you keep busy. Maybe do something about your house. Maybe there's some repair work that you can do by yourself. Maybe there's some gardening that you can do by yourself. You could keep busy exercising, working out. So if you're home, if you're contained like we are in India, then it's important to keep busy while at home. Maybe some exercise routine, but it's important that you stay busy. And if you're not contained like in many of the other countries, then it's important that you get out of the house and stay very busy, because if you're home, there's going to be some aggression, there's going to be a lot of restlessness that you feel at home. Now I'm going to be talking about Taurus. Taurus, the exchange of planets is between the first house and second house. The first lord is in the second house, the second lord is in the first house, and you have the fourth lord in the ascendant, then in the second house Sun, and you have Rahu also in the first house. So Taurus people are definitely going to have a lot of ideas. Mercury retrograding back in the ascendant with Rahu, lots of ideas. You're going to feel very communicative. You're going to maybe want to use some new ways of communication and technology, like using the internet the way I'm using. And again, finances are going to be a key issue for you, on your mind big time, family and finances. Mars is in the third house. So here we see some rashness if you are out, in the neighborhood, maybe with your neighbors, with your siblings. There could be some rashness there. What is important that you spend some time learning, because Mars in the third house, it's great for taking initiatives. But with retrograde Mercury right now, I would not say take any new initiatives right now. But I would definitely say it's a great time for planning on new initiatives that you can initiate once Mercury goes direct. And it's important to stay patient with people people around you, especially your neighborhood, your friends. That's where you may lose your temper, become rash, or when you're outside your home. So there's going to be a restlessness about you. Rahu is in the ascendant, and in the third house you have a debilitated Mars. So this shows a lot of restless energy. So definitely not start something new. Great time to start learning something, to planning something, but not initiating anything right now. And with the Venus moving into the second house, which is a comfortable position for Venus. It's going to be a good time for you if you spend time at home with your family and not venture out too much. With Mars in debility right now, I would not say experiment much. Be very, very conservative in whatever you're planning this month. Then I'm going to be talking about Gemini. For Gemini, there is an exchange between the 12th house and the first house, and in the second house you have Mars. So these three houses, Mars in the second, 12th and the first exchange. So the exchange of the 12th and the first show expenditure, wastage, travel, and it also shows that there could be expenditure on yourself. Some kind of hospitalization can also be seen here, and especially since Saturn is also now going to be in retrograde motion in the 8th house. So the 8th house has a retrograde planet. The 12th house is the ascendant lord, again in retrogression. So it's like going to the hospital and then coming back home. It will be good if you spend some quiet time reflecting, praying, connecting with your spiritual self, doing some social service if you're able to provide service for those people who are in other countries other than India, because here for us to step out of the home is very difficult right now. So if you can help somebody right now, that'll be great. Mercury here is also the 4th lord, so it does show some travel, some movement. You could be planning some movement, and there could be some harshness related to your speech, to your communication, because of Mars in the second house. So for that, again, planning it's a good time with the retrograde Mercury, but not for initiating anything. And if you do have a trip, if you do need to go to the hospital, but there is an exchange between Mercury and Venus, it just shows that all will be well. There could be a trip to a hospital, there could be a lot of expenditure, but at the end it should all be good. Both the houses are strong in this exchange yoga, and or there could be lots of ideas that involve a lot of expenditure. That can also be seen here. Ideas related to expenditure. There could be some expenditure that you're planning this month and lots of ideas related to it, but all should be well because both the houses are pretty strong. Here Mars, you need to be careful about your speech, how you spend your money. Mars in the second house shows we can be very extravagant. You can be very impulsive in your spending. The exchange here, Mercury in the 12th house and Mars debilitated in the second house, shows just buying something impulsively. Now I'm going to be talking about Cancer. Cancer, you have Mars in the ascendant, and you have an exchange yoga between the 11th and the 12th house, and Venus is in the 12th house. Mercury is in the 11th house with Rahu. So this is a good position, having Mercury in the 11th house with Rahu. You could be connecting with people in your network circle, and you could be planning a lot. There could be a lot of ideas where you relate with others, you connect with others, and you work in groups, some kind of teamwork. That will be good for you. And Venus and Mercury, the 11th and the 12th lord, are in an exchange. So there could be certain gains. The losses convert to gains. Some losses could be converting to gains right now. And in the ascendant, we have a debilitated Mars. So this is going to be an emotional time for you, Cancer, and you may feel very empowered, energetic, but at the same time you may be rash and sometimes very emotional. Some kind of an emotional turmoil you may be going through this month, and so there could be moments of there could be times when you lose your temper, when you're very, very angry and feel very low in energy, but generally this Mercury Rahu Sun combination in the 11th house shows good for gains. There will be a lot of energy in you to implement your action, but there will be an emotional upheaval. There could be an emotional disturbance or upheaval. So and you may feel that you're not able to be very productive. So your productivity will all be connected to your own emotions, and there could be some amount of expenditure also for you. There could be some travel for you. Venus here is the fourth lord, it's now in the 12th house, so there is some travel, there is some kind of a loss related to the fourth house also that can be seen. I'm going to be talking about Leo. For Leo, you have Mars debilitated in the 12th house, and in the 10th house you have Sun, Rahu and Mercury. Venus is in the 11th house. So for Leo, this Mars energy, debilitated Mars in the 12th house, is actually very disturbing, because the 12th house is the house of your subconscious. So some disturbance in the subconscious is there, and Mars is also your yoga karak, the fourth lord, in the 12th house in debility. So if you are away from home, if you are already away from home, then there could be an amount of discomfort that you feel. You may be a little unhappy wherever you are. There could be dissatisfaction, and you may also be wanting to spend your energy in an area where a lot of people are not watching you. You may want to spend your time quietly by yourself, planning something, doing something, and not wanting to be very visible. So you may feel very contained at this time, connecting with your spiritual side, maybe meditating a little bit. In your career, you have Mercury and Rahu there, so lots of ideas coming related to your work, related to your boss, connecting with new people, and there is an exchange between the 11th and the 10th house, which is great. So it's good to plan, it's good to have ideas, but again, before the 22nd, I would not say implement anything really, because of this retrograde and combust energy of Mercury. So it's a good month for Leo, though on the subconscious level there could be some disturbance, especially since the ascendant lord is also going to be in an eclipse. And your energy, you would feel happiest if you are by yourself, planning something, doing something, if you're not very visible. So that is the key remedy for you this month. I'm going to be talking about Virgo. Mars is in the 11th house, and in the 10th house you have Venus, in the 9th house you have Mercury and Rahu. So here Sun is also in the 9th house, and then Sun is going to come to the 10th house. So there could be communication, learning. This could be learning related to foreign languages, foreign cultures, education, foreign subjects that are not that are not common to your culture. And this month is, because there's an exchange of the 9th and the 10th house, this also shows this month is a month of responsibility, duty, where you'd be very aware of your own responsibilities and duties. And you may be traveling back to meet your father, and connecting with a father figure, or connecting with a teacher, a guru that you respect like a father. And where work is concerned, Venus in the 10th house, it's really looking good. The exchange of the 9th and the 10th house is great, and Sun is also going to be in the 10th house in directional strength. So work, career, new ideas related to that. Mars in the 11th house, you may in your network circle come across as very emotional, very moody, and that there is where the problem can be. You can be very reactive and impulsive with your network circle. So but it's a good time to plan on your ambitions, on your long-term dreams and desires. Plan for the next few months, or plan for the next couple of years on how you would want things to unfold for you and what you can do about it. So that is the best way to utilize this energy this month. So then I'm going to be talking about Libra. For Libra, you have Mars in the 10th house, and in the 9th house you have Venus. In the 8th house you have Rahu, Sun and Mercury. So there is an exchange between the 8th and the 9th house, and the 10th house has Mars. So Mars here in debility in the 10th house, so there could be an issue with authority figures, with bosses, with your work, career. You may not be too happy there. emotional upheaval can be seen in that area of your life. And also, in the 8th house you have Sun and Rahu and Mercury. So deep down, where we keep all our hidden fears is where a lot of planning will happen. There could be a lot of planning, a lot of investments you're thinking of related to the future. And because Mercury here is the 9th lord, so in the 8th house is investments and the financial sector, so lots of plans and ideas regarding that. So lots of planning going on inside of you in your subconscious self, and some disturbance, some upheaval can be seen related to career, some unhappiness can be seen. But it's a good time to plan and all that with this retrograde Mercury in the 8th house conjunct Rahu. And so once the Sun comes out to the 9th house after the 15th of June, things will start looking better. You will get some kind of a new vision, because the 9th house is the future. So there could be new vision related to the future and how you would like to proceed, how you would like to do things. There could be some kind of a study too that you may be interested in, because Venus here is also the ascendant lord conjunct Sun in the 9th house. So new vision, new learning about the future can be seen, but some disturbance can be seen related to career, some unhappiness can be seen with the debilitated Mars. So stay your cool, keep your cool when you're meeting and talking to your boss. That is a word of caution here. Now I'm going to be talking about Scorpio. So for Scorpio people, Mars is debilitated in the 9th house. In the 8th house you have Venus, and later on you'll also have the Sun. Mercury, Rahu and Sun are going to be in the 7th house. So here there's an exchange between the 7th and the 8th house. Mars is debilitated in the 9th house. Very forceful you can be in your speech. You may want to study something or put your energy to learning something related to other cultures, other religions, and some kind of higher knowledge. But you will be very forceful about your own philosophy, about your own thoughts, about your own ideas. And sometimes that leaves a very bitter taste. So there I would suggest you keep your cool. Also, this is the house of father, so Mars debilitated in that house can show some kind of a negative result related to your father. And Karaka for father is Sun, and Sun is also going to be transiting then towards the 8th house. It's going to be in an eclipse. So for Scorpio, I would tell you people to be more alert about your father's health, to take care of your father. New ideas can be there related to business, related to interacting with other people, related to sales and marketing, and how you connect with others, how you expand your horizons. There could be lots of ideas in your mind right now. Some kind of a relationship, fears regarding relationships. Venus is moving towards the 8th house. Some hidden secrets and fears, some things of the past coming up with this Mercury retrograde in the 7th house and Venus moving towards the 8th house. Some past relationship issues coming up. So that kind of a thing can also be seen here. Then I'm going to be talking about Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, Mars is going to be debilitated in the 8th house. 7th house has Venus. 6th house has Rahu, Mercury and Sun. And then the Sun moves out to the 7th house. So for Sagittarius, disturbance in the 8th house. If you're into some research work, if you're into some kind of secret study like astrology, any occult work, or you are a researcher, you're a doctor, then you'd be putting a lot of energy in that area. And how to remove problems and obstacles and debts and issues of our life, those kind of studies are great. A lot of energy you'd be putting there, and you'd feel energetic in that area. But of course, it'll be a very moody kind of a month for you also, because the 8th house is again a deep hidden fears and sudden accidents and surgeries. So Mars here in debility, kind of tells us that you got to be cautious in all these areas. Be very careful when you're driving. Be very careful with knives and burns and cuts and all that. It's a good month if you can donate some blood. Blood donation is considered good when Mars is transiting the 8th house, and so then the negative indications of Mars in the 8th can be reduced a little bit. Also, having Venus in the 7th house shows pleasant relationships, pleasant connections with other people, and there's an exchange between the 6th and the 7th, of course. And Sun will also be entering the 7th house, brightening the 7th house of relationships for us. Mercury is going back into the 6th house, into planning on our daily routine, our colleagues, daily work. So there's going to be a lot of planning that we're going to be doing. This planning could be related to your health, how to remove health issues, how to come up with a good health routine. So it's a great month to be planning on all that. It's a great month to be planning on your investments. Where all can we invest so that we do better in the future, so that we can have some gains without working for them. So it's a good month for that kind of a thing. And also for relationships, for interacting, for socializing too, it's a good month. For business planning, it's a good month. Now I'm going to be talking about Capricorn. For Capricorn, Mars is debilitated in the 7th house. 6th house has Venus. 5th house has Mercury, Rahu, Sun, and then Sun moves to the 6th house. So for Capricorn, I would say be very cautious. This is not a good month where relationships are concerned, because Venus is in Maran Karak Sthan and 7th house has a debilitated Mars. You certainly are going to be in trouble with regard to your relationship. This could be your spouse, this could be business relationships, this could be people in general. Be very cautious when you're driving, because Venus signifies vehicles. The 7th house having a debilitated planet, the 7th house shows when we're driving, when we are on the road. So there could be an accident, there could be a confrontation, there could be conflict, there could be fight on the road rage kind of a scene can be seen. But it's a good month if you spend your time planning on creative projects, on how to enhance your creativity, spending time with your children. So all that is looking fine. Be very cautious in your relationships. That is where the negative indication is. Then I'm going to be talking about Aquarius. For Aquarius, Mars is debilitated in the 6th house. The 4th and the 5th house have an exchange yoga. Rahu is in the 4th house. Sun is going to move from the 4th to the 5th house. So Mars debilitated in the 6th house. First of all, the emotional disturbance, the aggressiveness, all that can be seen in your daily routine with your colleagues, your co-workers. And there's an exchange between the 4th and the 5th house. So some kind of creativity while sitting at home, while being at home, some kind of creative projects that include your children, some kind of education that includes creative projects, all that can be seen. And Rahu is also there in the 4th house. So Rahu, Mercury here, lots of ideas, lots of projects, lots of planning for lots of projects can be seen. And Saturn, the ascendant lord, is actually in the 12th house. And in the 4th house you have Rahu, Mercury retrograding backwards. This does, all these three positions indicate travel. So because of the restrictions, because we are locked in, you may not travel. But there is some kind of travel that is planned for you this month because of the Lagna Lord in the 12th, the 4th house has Rahu, and Mercury is retrograding back. So all these three planets here indicating travel, relocation, movement. That could happen for you if you're not in India. Then I'm going to be talking about Pisces. Pisces, you have Mars debilitated in the 4th house, 3rd house, Venus, 2nd house, Mercury. There's an exchange here. Rahu is in the 3rd house. Sun will be moving into the 4th house. So for Pisces, you could be very temperamental this month, because 5th house really does show our mind, our comfort and peace and our creativity. How creative are we? You can only be very creative if you're very comfortable inside. So this shows disturbance. This could be disturbance with your children, disturbance in your love life, and but lots of ideas, lots of communication, some travel. Mercury Rahu conjunct in the 3rd house shows some travel, new ideas, new learning, but a comfortable time at home. At home you will enjoy a relaxing month, but at the same time you would like to venture out, travel. The Lagna Lord is also in the 12th house, so some travel. The 3rd house, the 12th house are both activated, and you have the 3rd Lord in the 4th house, so some travel, some enjoyment can be seen, some disturbance with your children, disturbance in your own happiness and mind, and your disturbance in your creative projects can also be seen. So, but it's a good time to work on your creativity, to enhance your creativity. That is where the energy is actually, in the 5th house. Mars is in the 5th house. So if you put your energy to creative projects, you could explore there, with Mercury also retrograding back towards Rahu. Lots of out of the box ideas could come for you, and you may end up innovating something. So that is all for now for this video. I will now be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye for now.